Aerial combat, in particular, is all about the choices that you make. Often you have to make snap decisions that have tremendous implications for the rest of your team and for the entire course of the match. The mark of a truly good pilot is, well, not only can he make those snap decisions correctly, but how does he handle the fallout, for good or for ill, that results from those decisions? Can he recover gracefully? Can he capitalize on a good move? I'm going to show you a couple of realistic battles turned in by Sorexy, who flies with the SAG. I'm going to show you these battles because in both of them he's flying the same plane, the Yak 3P. And this plane in particular is one of those planes in War Thunder that forces a pilot to make those critical decisions because of its one fatal flaw. It has an extremely limited supply of ammunition. You have to choose your target with absolute certainty and time your engagement perfectly. Otherwise, you're at a severe disadvantage. And then how you handle that disadvantage, well, that can be just as critical. As Sorexy flies into this battle, what has caught his eye down below is an LA-7 that is having a hard time, apparently, taking down a P-51 Mustang on the enemy team. As he drops down to take a closer look, he notices there's another aircraft down there as well. I don't know if you can see it well in this replay, but there's another dark speck coming around on the LA-7's tail. And yet a third aircraft is about to enter the airspace, an enemy bomber. Sorexy hesitates, unsure as to whether or not he should get involved. After all, the LA-7 is on the P-51's tail, but when fire comes in from one of the other enemy aircraft, Sorexy makes his decision. Will flip over and dive to the attack. The first priority for him is to help take out that P-51, thereby freeing up his teammate to assist him with the other aircraft in the area. He rakes the P-51 with a short burst, and while it doesn't take the P-51 out of the fight, it distracts the pilot enough and damages his plane enough that the LA-7 is able to shoot him down. That pass has lined him up almost perfectly for a run on this enemy B-17. Should Sorexy engage? Good question. He decides to do so. It was a worthy idea, but Sorexy had to hope that he took that B-17 down quickly. And unfortunately, that has not happened. He's damaged the B-17 severely, but he's taken damage in return, and it's soaking up a huge amount of his remaining ammunition. In fact, he's just about to run out. That's it. That's the last of his ammo. And he's taking return fire again. He was not able to bring the bomber down this time, although he was able to critical it and damage its left flap. That may end up telling the tale for that bomber eventually, but Sorexy is not going to get this kill. Instead, he's going to have to head back to the landing strip, avoiding other enemy aircraft along the way, bypassing the closest airstrip because of enemy air cover, and land at the most distant airstrip on the map. Still, the skies are clear here, and he's able to touch down for a perfect landing. It won't take him very long to get rearmed and repaired, but it has cost him valuable time to get here. One could very well argue that going after that bomber in this particular plane was a bad idea. And you might have a point, but if Sorexy had managed to take it down quickly, well, that would have been another story. Fortunately, this battle has not ended quickly. It's dragged on and given Sorexy plenty of time to gain over 5 kilometers in altitude. Eventually, he spots anti-aircraft fire coming up at an enemy aircraft below him, and it will lead him to his next target. Sorexy has been left to take on 2 enemy planes, and the P-51 below him has made the bad decision at this stage of the match to go after ground targets. And that's a bad decision that Sorexy intends to capitalize on. But he's going to have to stay heads up, or he could be in trouble. Sorexy was successful in taking advantage of the P-51's error, and managed to turn inside the Spitfire for the win. We'll see how he fares in this second match. There are a lot more pilots in the air this match, and that's going to make choosing his targets a little trickier. He's going to take his time on this one. At the moment, there is no rush. He can survey the situation, get a good idea of where all the enemy aircraft are, and evaluate which direction he should head in first. There's a Spitfire over to his right, and there's another one below him that's dogfighting with one of his teammates. It looks like that Yak 9 down below is in trouble, though. The Spitfire is on his tail, and they're both maneuvering hard in an effort to gain advantage. Sorexy's going to dive on that engagement and see if he can help. But on the way down, he keeps his eyes open. That other Spitfire over to the right is getting closer with every passing moment. His teammate to the left is now smoking badly and looks like he may go down soon. So he finally makes his decision to head after the Spitfire on his teammate's tail. Sorexy eliminates the Spitfire with almost surgical precision. It was a good call, and he immediately starts clawing back some altitude because he knows there are other aircraft close at hand. There's a bit of haze in the air and a low cloud cover, and that is making spotting the enemy aircraft difficult. He's going to keep tabs on his damaged companion below, but there is a landing strip close at hand. Once satisfied, he will bank his plane around and head back to the combat and the hard choices that await him. Another clean kill. He peeled that Hellcat off the tail of one of his teammates, which enabled that gentleman to make a kill of his own. Sorexy's team is starting to gain ascendancy in this battle, but it's not over yet, not by a long shot. Banking again, he heads back toward the center of the conflict. There are plenty of American and British aircraft out there that need attention. So it's time to claw back some altitude, survey the situation again, and decide how he can put his dwindling supply of ammunition to the best use. In a furious series of simultaneous encounters, Sorexy's team has managed to down all but one of the remaining enemy aircraft. Sorexy will head in that direction, although he has very little ammunition left, to see if he can be of assistance, but it's not necessary. His teammates are going to easily corner the last remaining Spitfire and take him out of the fight. Those are some good choices, Sorexy, and when the choices didn't work out for you as you had planned, you recovered nicely. Thanks for turning in the replay, Sorexy, and it's always a pleasure to see the pilots of the SAG at work. Well, that's all I have for you today, folks. I hope you enjoyed this little double feature today. Here recently, I have received a much larger than usual number of very good subscriber replays, so I'm going to attempt to get out as many as I can to you in short order. So keep your eyes open and your head in the game. And until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.